10th of November 2023. This day is celebrated as World Science Day for Peace and Development. Celebrated every year, 10 November, World Science Day for Peace and Development highlights the significant role of science in society and the need to engage the wider public debates on the emerging scientific issues. It also underlines the importance and relevance of science in our daily lives. Also on the same day, Surendranath Banerjee's birth anniversary, 1848, up to 6 August 1925, he led the Indian nationalist movement under the British rule. He established the Indian National Association, a nationalist group. He was one of the Indian National Congress founding member. Starting the newspaper analysis with the newspaper, The Hindu states that Israel-Hamas war day 35 live updates. Israel does not seek to occupy Gaza, but a credible pause needed, Netanyahu says. The White House said on Thursday that Israel agreed to 4-hour daily pause in northern Gaza, fighting to allow civilians to flee. A plume of smoke follows an Israeli airstrike in the northern part of the Gaza Strip as Israel continues its bombardment and the ground offensive on November 9, 2023, seen from Sderot, Israel. The Hindu newspaper also states that winter session of Parliament start on the December 4. On agenda, 3 bills seeking to replace the IPC, CRPC and Evidence Act. A bill on the appointment of the CEC's the ethics panel report recommending the exclusion of MP Moho Mohitra. A view of the new Parliament building in New Delhi. The winter session of the winter session of the Parliament will commence on December 4 and will have 15 sitting spread over 19 days. The Hindu newspaper also states that United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrives in New Delhi. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrives in Delhi on Thursday night primarily to attend the India-United States 2+2 Foreign and Defense Ministerial Dialogue. Antony Blinken is in India to attend the 2+2 Foreign and Defense Ministerial Dialogue. Going towards the Indian Express newspaper states that C. Raja Mohan writes why the United States needs India to get ahead in the artificial intelligence race with China. The biggest constraint on the United States' need to accelerate artificial intelligence development is the shortage of scientists, technologists, and engineers. India has natural talent pool to meet this demand. While Biden executive order deals with securing the use of all in various civilian uses, the Pentagon strategy highlights the importance of the integrating the rapid development of artificial intelligence into military doctrine and operations. Indian Express also states that External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, United States Secretary of State Blinken holds talks ahead of 2+2 dialogue. Once again, Blinken and the United States Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin are in Delhi for the 5th edition in the 2+2 Foreign and Defense Ministerial Dialogue, which is aimed at taking forward India-United States' futuristic roadmap for the deeper strategic cooperation. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken held talks on Friday, that is today morning, ahead of the high-profile 2+2 ministerial dialogue. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken shakes hands with the Indian Foreign Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar as they pose for a photo ahead of the day meeting in the New Delhi, India, Friday, November 10, that is today. Light rains bring pollution levels down in Delhi. Rainfall is brought with a steep fall in particulate matter levels early on Friday in Delhi. Rainfall brought with a steep fall in particulate matter levels early on Friday in New Delhi. Rain lashes several parts of the national capital. Going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that Central Bureau of Investigation, independent body not under our control. Center to Supreme Court says the Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) is an independent body and the center has no superintendence or control over it, the Union government told the Supreme Court on Thursday. Sometimes also states that 2 bodies with the blood wounds recovered in Manipur. 2 bodies, including that of women with the blood wounds, were recovered in Impala East and West districts in the Manipur police said on Thursday. Manipur has remained gripped by recurring bouts of violence since ethnic clashes first erupted in May. Sometimes also states that overnight rain brings air quality index a notch lower to very poor in Delhi NCR. A brief spell of overnight rainfall temporarily brought down the air pollution levels of the national capital on Friday under the very poor category after the days of being severe. Going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, exports to rise by 6.3% in Q3 Exim Bank. The positive growth rates are expected after the negative growth rates seen during the first two quarters of the year. The Export-Import Exim Bank of India has forecast India's total merchandise export to touch $111.2 billion, a year-on-year growth of the 6.3% during the October-December quarter Q3 of financial year 2024. As a part of its continuous research initiatives, Exim Bank has developing an in-house model to generate an export-leading index ELI for India to track the and forecast the movement in the India's export on quarterly basis. India remains vulnerable to recurring overlapping food price shocks. Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikant Das, the Reserve Bank of India's Monetary Policy Committee MPC, in its October meeting projected consumer price index based on CPI inflation at 5.4% for 2023-24, a moderation from 6.7% in 2022-23. Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikant Das. Net inflows into equity. IMF is up 42% in the October SIP contribution at all-time high. The contribution from the systematic investment planners SIP stood at an all-time high of rupees 16,927.86 crore in October. Inflows into the equity mutual fund scheme rose by 42% to rupees 19,957.17 crore in October on a net basis, primarily on account of high inflows into the small cap funds. Data released by Association of Mutual Fund AMFI showed. Among the equity asset class, the small cap category attracted the highlights inflows to the tune of rupees 4,495 crore during the month. This was followed by rupees 3,896 crore in the thematic funds. For developing nations, energy transition has been heavy cost. He said work is also underway with the Multilateral Development Bank to prepare estimates for the cost of the India's net zero transition. One can only have two of these three if you want to maintain physical stability and physical sustainability and yet achieve net zero as well. I think one has to forget about economic competitiveness. But if you want to maintain net zero and economic competitiveness, fiscal incentives have to be applied, he said. From the world news, including Oxford AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine faces legal challenge in United Kingdom report. Israel-Hamas conflict. India's calls for immediate and unconditional release of hostages. Displaced back of Gaza hospitals, other flee as Israel troops and Hamas fighters clash. Indian student stabbed in head at a United States Chim dies, says university. Indian origin poet Rupi Kaur declines Kamala Harris Diwali party invite our stance on Israeli Gaza war. Israel-Hamas war alive updates. Israel claims Hamas hides command posts, tunnel hospitals as Gaza protests air strikes. Going towards the science and technology, scientists discover long-lost mammal in remote Indonesia mountains. The species has also been scientifically recorded once before by a Dutch botanist in 1961. And Echidna walks amid vegetation in the Cyclopus Mountain, Papua, Indonesia, July 2023. NASA Plus, free streaming service now live, available on a web, Android and iOS platforms. NASA Plus is an ad-free cross-platform streaming platform with the content around space and science. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration NASA unveiled its standalone streaming service called NASA Plus. NASA Plus streaming service is available for Android and iOS devices also. From the artificial intelligence of Veo, no applications, no screen, only voice and hand motions. Humani unveils its AI PIN at $699. The tiny device, said to be the smartphone killer, is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset and is claimed to be super fast. The device does not have a screen. Users interact with it using their voice, hand motions, and a blue laser projector. At last, there's a famous quotation said by APJ Abdul Kalam, whose full name is Old Pak General Abdul Kalam. Birth anniversary 15 October 1931 up to 27th of July 2015. Was an Indian aerospace scientist and statesman who served as the 11th President of India from 2002 to 2007. He was born and raised in the Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu, and studied physics and aerospace engineering. He spent the next 4 decades as a scientist and a science administrator, mainly in the DRDO and the ISRO, and was intimately involved in the India's civilian space program and military missile development efforts. He thus came to be known as the Missile Man of India for his work on the development of ballistic missile and launch vehicle technology. He also played a pivotal organizational, technical, and a political role in India's Pokhran's second nuclear test in 1998. The first seen as the original nuclear test by India in 1974. Mr. Kalam says a famous quotation. He says that luxury and lies have huge maintenance cost, but truth and simplicity are self-maintainer without any cost. Okay, thank you.